Hello world, we are live here at Myriad 2018. I'm Katie, coming to you from Beach City, thanks to Everledger and Invest Sunshine Coast. And today I have with me Tim. How are you going today, Tim?
I'm really good, thank you.
And how are you finding Myriad today?
Oh, it's great. I've been around, saw some quite interesting things, and it's really good to see something like this here in Brisbane. I mean, we have drones with seats on them, so
Pretty cool stuff going around, isn't it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's really exciting, and I've seen some great speakers and things like that. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff.
Okay, cool. And Tim, tell me a little bit about yourself and your startup.
So I started out with drone technology myself and robotics, and then I moved into virtual reality and augmented reality technology. So it came from an original drive. I was playing around with some of the early headsets that come out on Kickstarter, and most people that have used it, I'm not sure if you've had a go. There's some around here today, but there's a wire running from the headset back to the computer, which is it's severely limiting on the experience, and people get tangled in it and trip over it and stuff like
Wow.
that. So there's some pretty funny videos on YouTube if you look up people tripping over VR wires. So, but yeah, so I originally started thinking about how to get rid of that wire and make the headsets wireless, and then I co-founded the company IMR, Immersive Robotics, with another guy, Dr. Daniel Fitzgerald, and we basically worked on this problem around this idea to get rid of these wires, and from early on it was pretty evident that conventional compression technologies like H.264, H.265 and stuff like that just don't cut it due to the latency requirements of a closed loop system. So we've done a lot of optimization around how quickly we can compress video and send it from the computer to the headset. So I believe our solution is the fastest video compression in the world that I'm aware of.
Wow.
So that's kind of what is at the core of our solution, and we've turned that into a reference design that we're able to now take to a lot of the big players around the world that are making this kind of technology, and we're talking with them and lining up strategic contracts to actually get our IP into their products as well, and moving on to bigger things as well, trying to get it into devices like phones and things like that, so we become more of a de facto standard for video compression and streaming and things like that, as those more real-time critical tasks and applications come about. Particularly following innovations in the areas of like 5G networks and stuff like that, we can start to take advantage of those sort of low latency and high bandwidth data communication systems.
Okay.
Yep.
And when did you come into it all, and how long have you been with it for?
So we've been going funded for around 3 years now, and then before that, just sort of bootstrapping it from my other consulting business.
Okay.
Yep.
And have you come across any struggles in your startup?
Yeah, look, there's a lot. It's a very convoluted process starting up a company. So, certainly there's been times where it's harder than others. But those are sort of that's the stuff that makes you, I think, at the end of the day. You just need to adapt and find solutions to problems, and it makes you stronger for it.
Okay. And what would you say? What would you say one of your favourite things about being an entrepreneur is?
I think waking up every day and not being 100% sure of what your day is going to involve, and being able to go back to basics and create ideas that start from scratch. You're not always building on other people's ideas. And if you are, you're adding your own flavour to that. So, yeah, I think having the freedom of thought and seeing your thought turn into ideas that are actually have applications in the world, and I think it's a great feeling when you actually see other people out there using something you've created, and finding ways to fit that into their life, and ways that it can actually help them achieve things that they want to achieve as well. And in a lot of ways, it's even more valuable when you see them, coming up with ideas around what you've done and applying it in ways that you didn't even think that it could be applied. So yeah, I think that's a bit of a long answer, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that was great. And what would be some advice for startup businesses and entrepreneurs that are sort of struggling to get started? And yeah.
So I think remain objective. Don't be too precious about your idea, and seeing where that idea fits into the broader ecosystem. So go back to why. I think it's very common as an entrepreneur to hold your idea close to you and communicate what your idea is to everybody.
Yep.
The reality is what you're doing could be quite unique, but it's still, if you're communicating from the what all of the time, it's going to draw a lot of parallels with other people, and you want to differentiate yourself and the way you think. So if you start communicating from the why, this is why I'm doing this is why I'm passionate about this, and this is why you should like what I'm doing and be passionate about it. It's an easy, and I'm not making this up, but it's an easier way to actually communicate what you're doing. Is start with that why, and if the why doesn't make sense, then it's probably time to go back and look at what you're doing and make some adjustments there. So that's probably the best way to immediately get a sounding board from people, is if you're communicating why you do what you do and you're not getting that feedback that you're expecting. And then as far as struggling goes, you've got to stay with what you believe in as well. So it may not seem like it's working out, but that's usually find like your wins happen just at breaking point. So just don't give up and just push through that kind of point. It's the same as anybody who's worked out or anything like that will know that like the results happen right after that pain point. So I think get past that point that feels like it's going to break you. Yeah.
Awesome. And what do you think one of the biggest takeaways that you'll get from this experience at Myriad?
I think it's a good networking opportunity, but it's also it's great if you haven't been to the States much or something. If you're a startup here, I think there's a lot of people that can come here and get a little bit of a taste for the thought leadership that's coming in from over there as well. So there's been some great speakers and things like that who are bringing ideas internationally to here, and I think you should always take that opportunity to kind of just have a look at how they're doing things elsewhere, and when it's on your doorstep, it's very valuable. Yeah.
And do you think that Myriad could improve in any way? Do you think there's anything do you feel that they could add to the function?
More wireless VR. No, look, it would be. It would be.
Is there anything that you'd like to see, or anything that you'd like to be added to?
I don't know. Like just it would be good to see it grow over the next few years and become bigger each year. I think is I'm sure that's what's happening, and so look just to see exponential growth in something like this, I think is what I would like to see. So. Okay. Come back each time, and there's more and more interesting things. Yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to say?
No. I think that's it. We'll leave it there. But just keep an eye on the internet of the future. Like, I think things are going to get a lot more real-time critical with data streaming and stuff like that. And one area that really interests me is the 5G space and the applications that can roll out of that, like driverless vehicles and mesh networking and stuff like that. So, look, that's we'll leave it there. That's good. Yeah.
Right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your time here at Myriad.
Thanks a lot.
All right, great. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks, guys. See ya.